4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, Wayfarer. I hope you've been doing well. Check me out at buymeacoffee.com/Frank Monday. Pull a something in the tip jar. That keeps the lead in the pencil, the pep in the step. I know you're familiar with all that happy horse shit that makes YouTube's algorithms bark like Pavlov's dogs. Throwing a little background music to kill the lo-fi or the chill hop. Let's check out the chill hop. How about that? Yeah, it sounds good. I like that. You like that? It's nice. It's really nice. It's a spot, doesn't it? On a Friday night. Late. Stars are out. You're traveling. It's dark. You got to get where you're going, amigo. Get on up. Get on up out the way. Biatch said get on up out the way. Move your big old fat ass out my way, biatch. 'Cause I'm coming through. And I'm moving. And I'm grooving. And I'm jamming to the tunes of Frank Monday's hit single, Get Out the Way. Yeah. FM radio on your headset. Hope you're doing out there good magic. Yo, good looking sexy people. Looking out. Why don't you take a deep breath? Hold it for a moment. 3, 2, 1, and command yourself to relax. Take all the time you need, Wayfarer, to settle in and get ready for an evening of shenanigans. Whatever it is you want, you can have. My wish is your command. Abracadabra. Love is the law. Love under will. And do what thou wilt is the whole of the law. You need do nothing else, Wayfarer. Wander in, sashay in, and see what's going on. You might find yourself floating within your body, so relaxed, so invigorated by the sound transmission coming at you from the central kingdom of the celestial dragon, Twilight's own old Peking, Frank Monday, broadcasting from behind the bamboo firewall. Welcome back, Wayfarer. Where have you been? What have you been up to? And why? Why are you getting into it? Why are you doing all that, what you're doing, huh? Why don't you step in and sit down beside the fire? Make yourself a delicious beverage, have a snack, kick off your shoes, and relax. Take a moment for yourself, right? Because if you don't, no one else will. You're the only one that can get it done, that can find the way to enjoy your time. Got a visitor out in Happy Land. Good to see you, Vanton Black. Thank you for joining the transmission. I hope you are doing well. Lovely communications I've had with you recently here on the YouTubes. Quite a bit of a surprise because I don't know even the slightest thing about you to the best of my recollection. Appreciate that. Thank you for that. That's good magic. I mean, I can get into that. That's a big deal. You, I don't know you. I don't know where you're from, Wayfarer, where you've traveled, whence you came, and where dost thou whither to? I don't know. I don't know any of those things. You got to tell me. Let me know. Because it's all about you. The transmission is specifically tailored for each and every one of you. Maybe you can find the light in yourself, or some wandering muse can ignite that flame within you to seek out those things which you hold to be dear, to enjoy. Okay, interesting. Yeah, wow, good magic. I was checking out your channel, Vanta Black, if anyone's tuning in, and maybe you can drop your link. Some good magic going on over there. Really interesting. I don't know how to describe it. Cheshire, huh? Like the Cheshire Cat. Oh, very interesting. Yeah, so yeah, I had a look, I had a listen. It's a very delightful thing. I can appreciate that. Yeah. I don't know all about it, right? Like I am assuming, and I believe from what I gathered, that the imagery is generated by some form of algorithmic intelligence, right? The AI. And I don't know about the soundtrack. I would assume that's you. That would be my guess, but I don't know. I mean, fuck. Who knows what's going on the internet these days? I am curious though, like, is your profile picture, is that actually you? And if so, do you typically like to go on panel chats and talk to people? Yes, no, or the other? Fools and Tools is here. Good to see you. Greetings and salutations. Good magic. Holy art thou, right? Let us pray. Holy art thou, Lord of the universe, the vast and the mighty one, creator of heaven and earth, maker of all things visible and invisible, master of both the light and the darkness, he who was, is, and always shall be. We adore thee and we invoke thee. Send us one of your divine spiritual agents, our holy guardian angel, to protect and guide us through the innumerable snares of the earthly sphere, and a cleansing wind to disperse all negativity and endless human opinion. Teach us those secret things which we must know for the completion of the great work and the glory of thine ineffable name, Adonai. So it is commanded and confirmed. So mote it be. Amen. Remember, O neophyte, goodness alone is power, silence is strength, will regaineth omnipotence, and love lieth at the foundation. Yeah, it's good magic, man. I enjoy that. I like that. I like to pray. I like to invoke. Israel Regardi of the Golden Dawn. Yeah, you guys might know him. I'm sure you're familiar with him to some extent, if you've studied any of the esoteric fields. He said, you should invoke often and inflame yourself with prayer. What a thing, what a treat, right? To be able to do that, to use the word, the voice, the commandments, that ineffable power above, and direct it into your life with whatever invocation you enjoy. Yeah, it's good magic. I like it a lot. Let's check in with the ideas room and see what everybody's doing out there in Happy Land. Much love from Fools and Tools. Good to see you. Appreciate that. Vanta Black, shout out to you. Put your guys' channel name in the ideas room here, and I can let people know about you, because that's what this is all about, right? Shouting out each other. 36 in the afternoon. Wow, that's good magic, man. That's an early day. I like that. Uh, I've spent a little time in England, not a lot, to be honest with you. I think I've been there a couple of times. I visited London. I visited Dublin. You know that I'm an German Irish Jew of an American. I don't know if you know that or not, but yeah, that's basically my makeup. Mostly Germanic stock with some Irish and a little bit of Ashkenazi thrown in for good measure, right? A bit of a blend. I'm not sure of your Vanta Black. Black. Why do you use black, Vanta? And that's a strange name to me, Vanta. I mean, maybe it's just a internet moniker. But are you black? Right? African of the Negroid race? Or do you mean it as something else, like dark magic? Yeah, it's cool. And you present in the feminine divinity, but I'm not sure if that's accurate or not. I have no idea, man. The veil between the kingdom and the foundation, the first veil, is called the veil of the profane. And so when we're trying to reach out from the prime material plane and cross over into the realms of Dreamland and the astral, the first veil we have to go through is that cloud of forgetting and unknowing. Yeah. And so the veil of the profane, it keeps us from knowing things directly. Only spiritual discernment can tell you whether something's true or untrue. Oh, you are? Okay. Wow. Fascinating. Very good. Good magic. Do you speak Afrikaans then? Isn't that their dialect there? I've never personally been anywhere on the African continent. Don't even know if it's real. Right? They say, hey, you've never been to Africa, but you're pretty sure that Africa's a real place, right? Like, you've never experienced a spheroid Earth, but according to what you've been told, that's what it is. Yeah. Yeah, it does sound cool. You're right. And if your profile pic and your content generation tells me anything about you, I would assume that you're quite young by a human measurement. Maybe mid to late 20s, mid 30s. That would be my guess. I have no idea though. My next question was going to be, do you ever do panel chats, or do you come on to other people's shows and like to talk? I don't know. I believe that we crossed paths in somebody else's chat room, if I remember correctly. I might be wrong about that though, but that's somehow the way I remember it. Somehow. Okay, very good. Good magic. So let me see here. 25 next year, the year of the snake, to the year of the horse. Are you born in the Chinese year of the horse? That would be my guess with that. And then 25. So I would have no idea of your zodiacal sign. You're too shy for that, huh? Shy. What are the shy signs of the zodiac? So I'm thinking you're born in the Chinese year of the horse. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not. You'll have to tell me. Or the chicken, perhaps. And then being shy online. I don't know. Maybe a Cancer? What else could be a shy sign? Inward focused. None of the air signs, I would imagine. Fire. Earth. Okay, so Earth. Maybe Taurus. Virgo, and Capricorn. Not a Capricorn, though. Definitely not. That would not be my guess. Okay, it was the Machine Lies. Good magic. That's funny because I actually didn't change the thing on my thing, and yeah, Sagittarius, nice. I wouldn't
So we
imagine a
talk about
Sagittarius
the
to be
lies
shy.
of the machine
That seems
on the
fascinating to
machine
me.
that lies.
Ooh, all right, entertainment.
Basically, on the stream, The Machine Lies, we're taking a very critical look at technology. So the reason we're doing that is because we're looking at the medium that is used to communicate, right, and transmit information, right? We don't think that any form of mediation is neutral, right, but it's laden with values. And so I think that the well has been polluted by technology. So obviously we take a critical look at technology, right? Okay, we're looking at different concepts in relation to technology, right? In terms of philosophy, right? And in terms of religion. Now, that is one of the main purposes of the show, is that we really look at where technology and religion, science, and spirituality, where those things intersect, right? Because there's a crisis of the modern world in which there's a majority of the modern world is religious people. Their mindset is secular, and the means they employ are secular. We're living in a post-liberal, post-human, post-geological age, right? So we're talking about the death of liberalism, the rise of the world technological system. Now, we do think that, okay, there's a considerable level of externalization of the ego, okay, and mediation of ourselves through the means we employ. So obviously, we shape tools, but the tools we use shape us, right? So that's one of the main things we're trying to get across on the show, is how technology changes human psychology. If you question the means you employ and what the objective factors of power are in our age, right, then that's the most important question you can ask, right? That's the most critical stance you could actually take, right? Like, most people don't question, how or what means they use to question, to ask the question itself, right? So we're actually taking a critical look at technology, right, as a primary form of communication, as an objective factor of power in our age, right? And we think that basically we're assuming that a lot of the stuff that we see through this medium is totally made up, right, fabricated, and that is based on the fact that it is artifice. It's produced by a machine, right? So we talk about the lies of the machine on the machine.
It's funny to think, but let me see. This is not responding, so why? Um, maybe I can drop it. Yeah, I think so. Okay, am I back? Yeah, I'm back. Yeah. Hi, Vanta. Hi, Moon Rocks. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Ricardo, odale, Ricardo. ¿Cómo está? No, I can't even see your guys' avatar pic, so it doesn't. I don't even know what's going on with that right now. But that was the machine lies, and it's a little presentation. And the funny thing is, that took me like 2 solid hours to edit down. It's interesting too because it was only, I think it was a 10-minute clip, and I pulled out the part where um TML gives his basic breakdown for the machine lies, and then I just went in and took out all the unnecessary sounds and dead air points, and I did it with complete focus. I just scrolled through it, listened to it while cutting out all of the unnecessary dead air and redundancies and any type of verbal slips, right? Like, oh, and that type of thing. Basically what some of you might consider the ASMR value of it. But anyway, I did all of that, and that took me a little over an hour. And it didn't even like I didn't even notice the hour. Like I just got in and started clipping using the software or whatever, clip, 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 isolate, clip, isolate, clip. And that was over a solid hour. And then I did another hour of just kind of compiling it together and playing with it and checking it and making sure all of the audio was balanced, like the audio behind the scenes audio work. And yeah, 2 hours for a 2-minute audio clip. It's kind of a thing, right? And that was don't think I'm fucking like blowing my own horn or something, but that was with efficiency. Like I was working fast and I know the tools well. I know the basic video processing and audio processing software, so I was able to do it quickly. But I got into the groove, and I realized that even the production value of a single 2-minute clip can take 2 hours, right? A solid 2 hours. That's exactly what it took. I mean, with a little bit of chill time in between, but the first hour, maybe 5 minutes was just solid work without any, like, I don't even remember breathing. I just remember doing the work. So why did I mention that? Because people sometimes take for
So we talk
granted,
about
like what
the
we get,
lies of
the
the
production
machine
value of things
on
we
the
get.
machine that
Listen to it
lies.
again. Ooh, all right, entertainment.
Basically, on the stream, the machine lies. We're taking. So we talk about the lies of the machine on the machine that lies.
Ooh, all right, entertainment.
Basically, on the stream, the machine lies. We're taking a very critical look at technology. So the reason we're doing that is because we're looking at the medium that is used to communicate, right, and transmit information, right? We don't think that any form of mediation is neutral, right? But it's laden with values. And so I think that the well has been polluted by technology. So obviously we take a critical look at technology, right? Okay, we're looking at different concepts in relation to technology, right? In terms of philosophy, right? And in terms of religion. Now, that is one of the main purposes of the show, is that we really look at where technology and religion, science, and spirituality, where those things intersect, right? Because there's a crisis of the modern world in which there's a majority of the modern world is religious people. Their mindset is secular, and the means they employ are secular. We're living in a post-liberal, post-human, post-geological age, right? So we're talking about the death of liberalism, the rise of the world technological system. Now, we do think that, okay, there's a considerable level of externalization of the ego, okay, and mediation of ourselves through the means we employ. So obviously, we shape tools, but the tools we use shape us, right? So that's one of the main things we're trying to get across on the show, is how technology changes human psychology. If you question the means you employ and what the objective factors of power are in our age, right, then that's the most important question you can ask, right? That's the most critical stance you could actually take, right? Like, most people don't question, how or what means they use to question, to ask the question itself, right? So we're actually taking a critical look at technology, right, as a primary form of communication, as an objective factor of power in our age, right? And we think that basically we're assuming that a lot of the stuff that we see through this medium is totally made up, right? Fabricated. And that is based on the fact that it is artifice. It's produced by a machine, right? So we talk about the lies of the machine on the machine that lies.
Yeah, that's good magic right there. Yeah. Again, I don't mean to blow my own horn, but I have rarely produced, I wouldn't say rarely, but it's not easy to produce like a single video production or audio editing without a single mistake. And on that, I made no mistakes and everything came out 100% clean. And so, yeah, I was happy about that. And that's rare. Like anybody who writes books or stories, you always need a proofreader. And what's the thing? Typos occur, and other type of errors occur, and they're almost unavoidable. Yeah, but and the creator, the editor, can't usually see them themselves. That's why you need a proofreader. Yeah, to always get behind it and figure out. Moonrocks is asking about the weather down under. Good magic. Um, Today was nice. It was clear. It got up to 30 degrees Celsius, which I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit anymore. But yeah, 30, it's pretty warm. It's like maybe 80, 87, 86, 87, something like that Fahrenheit if you're on the standards American system. Yeah, the solstice is coming up in a few days. Wow, this weekend. I haven't even checked the relevant data for that. So let's look at that now that you mentioned it, Vanta. Select. Let me make sure all my screens are clean. And I'll reposition the key screen here. Why is it doing that? What's up with all this? It's crazy shit. Okay. Yeah, good magic. No, it doesn't seem to be open. That's weird. It should be. Let me see. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and there it is there. All right. Monthly, yeah, that'll work. Put it into place. Say which 21st. Let's have a look. Allow it. Says I'm sharing my entire screen. Don't know how much truth there is to that. There it is there, yeah. If we are sharing and it's working correctly, today here in Twilight's own old Peking, far behind the bamboo firewall, in the central kingdom of the celestial dragon, Frank Monday, coming at you once again like Finnegan. So if you have a yen, like a genuine desire to expand your knowledge base, your kin, right, your understanding, then we ought to get together sometime and get jiggy with it, get zen. Alan Watts defined Zen Buddhism very simply: when hungry, eat; when thirsty, drink; and when tired, sleep. And Frank Monday added one more to that: when horny, fuck. Get with it, baby. You got to get shit done. So that's the basic equation of Zen philosophy. When thirsty, drink; when hungry, eat; and when tired, sleep. 17th, it's a green day, which is a good day for mental energy. The moon is in Pisces. Let's have a look at that. We'll get a closer look. The moon is in Pisces at 249 degrees of the lunar. No, lunar. That's not lunar. Is it? It might be. Yeah, okay, it is. Yeah, the lunar transition. Um, we've got all this other stuff going on, which I really can't read. But it looks like the summer solstice is occurring with the sun will transition into Cancer at 10:42 on the 20th. And yeah, it's kind of a big deal, right? And the lunar cycle is Aries transitioning into Taurus at that time. So there you have it. Yeah. That's on Astrology Cafe. Yeah, so you can check that out. One of my favorite websites. Got a lot of good stuff. No, Cafe Astrology. I'm sorry. I misspoke. Cafeastrology.com. Yeah, so you can check that out at your leisure. There's a lot of good magic going on over there. They maintain really um, detailed, exacting files for a long time now. I've been using that website probably for 15 years at least, and they've always maintained it, and it's free. It does have a lot of ads and like pop-ups and shit though, but yeah, you can work your way around that. The information and the data they present is quite voluminous and good. And that was long before the days of like AI generated content. Oh yeah, so we were talking about the weather. Yeah, the weather was good here today. The AQI was very low, around 31, and thankfully there was some amount of breeze out of the north. Was it the northwest? Yeah, out of the northwest. there was a bit of breeze, and so that's probably coming down from the Hyperborean area and Siberia, right across the Mongolian plains. But yeah, we got a bit of cool air in the morning, and there was some sporadic rain showers before dawn. So the ground was moist and glistening when I got up this morning. And but at the same time, there weren't any mud puddles, so Peppa Pig would be a little bit disappointed because you know how Peppa Pig likes muddy puddles. So yeah, it's good magic there. Midsummer, yeah, I wish there was a Burning Man or something to go to and like I don't know, fucking eat some mushrooms or peyote and get naked and run around in the desert. But yeah, good magic and love to you as well, Vanta. Yeah, Moon Rocks is on the south coast, so you guys are enjoying the jolly old England, the good island. As a celebration for that, I will play the Goddess song one time to represent for the summer solstice and the honorable mention. Yeah, so good magic, guys. I appreciate that.
We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain flowing to the ocean. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain flowing to the ocean. Hoof and horn, hoof and horn, all that die shall be reborn. Corn and grain, corn and grain, all that fall shall rise again. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain flowing to the ocean. Sage and crone, wisdom's gift shall be our own. Crone and sage, wisdom is the gift of age. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain flowing to the ocean. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain flowing to the ocean.
Yeah, it's good magic right there. I like that a lot. What a treat. What a valuable thing to be able to spend time with you here on the internet, Wayfarer, Vanta Black, Moon Rocks, Fools and Tools, et al. Anyone who is here to join us for this brief transmission, because it's always so brief, right? Time flies when you're having fun, Wayfarer. I remind you that, yeah, take time for yourself, chill out, relax, take a deep breath in, hold it for 3, 2, 1, and relax. Command yourself to relax, to enjoy the present moment, to feel gratitude for all that you have or even what you don't have, right? There may have been things from the past that you lost and you'd like to call back to you. Some things you're done with and you've moved on. Those things that no longer serve you, in fact. But you can always take time for yourself. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Hold it for a moment and relax. If you do have your eyes closed, you might envision the eye in the triangle, just slightly above eye level, forehead. Sink down into the body, and imagine the pentagram within the heart. Go further down and detect those first swirlings of the universe at the gate of Yasad. You might invoke whatever god names you associate with those three divine centers, elixir fields, dantians of the human body. They are bridge points leading to spiritual immortality. They endlessly generate life energy within the body. Not just that, within the entire cosmos, right? We have heaven above, earth below, and mankind and womankind as the bridgeway between the two. As you inhale the spirit into matter, remember that your heavenly origin is a spiritual life, commingled with a physical life. Yeah, take care of your body, man. It's funny. I'll deviate away and think about like how people talk about the meat suit or the meat bag, or saying that all of this expression of life is just shit. And I always feel a little saddened and disappointed by that. And I think, good God, if you feel that way, then are you even breathing? You know, are the people who say that, are they just NPCs, cattle, non-entities, some sort of trick in the matrix? Because it's not that. It can never be just that, right? It's a wonderful living experience. You know, pound on your chest a little, right there at the sternum. Just go ahead and pound the sternum up and down, 50 strikes on the sternum, the drum of life. Rotate the hips a little, the neck, circle your shoulders back and forward. Get your elbows moving a bit, you know, get into that old get out the way dance, right? The chicken elbow, chicken wang. Ain't no thing like a chicken wang. Get it. Move that body around a little bit. Stand up if you need to and walk around your space. Enjoy it. Crack open your fan if you have one. Oh God, mine's perfumed. I have a beautiful perfumed paper fan here with me. And every time I click it open, can you hear that, amigo? Wayfarer? Yeah, I think you can hear it. It's bamboo and paper. Strike the chord. You know what I think we need, Wayfarer? I think we need the invocation of Tahuti. Yeah, that's what we need to load up here on the old website and listen to it one time. That'll get us in the mood for deep magic, magic that soothes the soul, magic that heals, brings you closer to a genuine reality. Here it is here, Wayfarer. Oh, it's loading. Wow. How long is that going to take, right? 1%, 30%, 50%. It's going pretty fast. In fact, I don't think it's going to take much time at all. Getting busy. Oh, wow, it's loaded up. Now it needs to process. First, they got to analyze it and process it. Processing. 24, 30. It's coming along. It'll take a minute. It is what it is. Yeah. I don't even know if I'm still transmitting. Let me check the feedback loop, guys. Make sure I'm still here with you this evening. And yeah, it's a 6-minute video. It's good to go. Yeah. Let's have a listen. Up, up. Good magic. Is it playing? Yeah, like that a lot. It's really good. Holy art thou, raw in thy rising, even unto thee who art raw in thy strength, who travellest over the heavens at the uprising of the sun. Tahuti standeth in his splendour at the prow, and Ra Hor abideth at the helm. Hail unto thee from the abodes of Dreamland. Good magic.
The invocation of Thoth. Procul, O procul esti profani, or lasti ompeda. In the name of the mighty and terrible one, I proclaim that I have banished the shells unto their habitations. I invoke Tahuti, the Lord of wisdom and of utterance, the God that cometh forth from the veil. O thou majesty of the Godhead, wisdom-crowned Tahuti, Lord of the gates of the universe, thee I invoke. O thou of the ivy's head, thee I invoke. Thou who wieldest the wand of double power, thee I invoke. Thou who bearest in thy left hand the rose and cross of light and life, thee I invoke. Thou whose head is as an emerald, and thy nemes as the night sky blue, thee I invoke. Thou whose skin is of flaming orange as though it burned in a furnace, thee I invoke. Behold, I am yesterday, today, and the brother of tomorrow. I am born again and again. Mine is the unseen force whereof the gods are sprung, which is as life unto the dwellers in the watchtowers of the universe. I am the charioteer of the east, lord of the past and of the future. I see by mine own inward light, Lord of resurrection, who cometh forth from the dusk, and my birth is from the house of death. O ye two divine hawks upon your pinnacles, who keep watch over the universe, ye who accompany the bier to the house of rest, who pilot the ship of Ra, ever advancing onwards to the heights of heaven, Lord of the shrine which standeth in the center of the earth. Behold, he is in me, and I in him. Mine is the radiance wherein Ptah floateth over the firmament. I travel upon high. I tread upon the firmament of new. I raise that flashing flame with the lightning of mine eye, ever rushing on in the splendor of the daily glorified Ra, giving my life to the dwellers of earth. If I say, come up upon the mountains, the celestial waters shall flow at my word. For I am Ra incarnate, Kefra, created in the flesh. I am the eidolon of my father Tamu, Lord of the city of the sun. The God who commands is in my mouth. The God of wisdom is in my heart. My tongue is the sanctuary of truth, and a guard sitteth upon my lips. My word is accomplished every day, and the desire of my heart realizes itself as that of Ptah when he createth his works. I am eternal, therefore all things are as my designs, therefore do all things obey my word. Therefore do thou come forth unto me from thine abode in the silence, unutterable wisdom, or light, or power. So, Hermes, Mercury, Odin, by whatever name I call thee, thou art still nameless to eternity. Come thou forth, I say, and aid and guard me in this work of art. Thou star of the east that didst conduct the Magi, thou art the same all present in heaven and in hell. Thou that vibratest between the light and the darkness, rising, descending, changing ever, yet ever the same. The sun is thy father, thy mother the moon. The wind hath borne thee in its bosom, and earth hath ever nourished the changeless Godhead of thy youth. Come thou forth, I say, come thou forth, and make all spirits subject unto me, so that every spirit of the firmament and of the ether, upon the earth and under the earth, on dry land and in the water, of whirling air and of rushing fire, and every spell and scourge of God the vast one may be obedient unto me.
Yeah, good magic. I mean, look at that profile shot right there of him, and then look at my profile shot. We're from the same fucking family somehow, yeah. He was in the Long Beach area where I grew up in LA until like he passed away in '86. I think he left LA in '82, which I would have been 10. So if he was active as a rabbi at that point, yeah, I'm deeply suspicious that he may have given me my circumcision, because I remember, like, I'm not an Orthodox Jew. We're heterodox, my family, but my father's younger brother was very Orthodox, always wear yarmulke and shit, and we all got circumcisions, but they would throw Jewish parties, and I got a dreidel one year for a Christmas present from my uncle, and he talked a bunch of shit. He made me learn some of the prayers I still say now, like the original Hebrew incantations of the middle pillar and the fourfold breath. All of that he taught me, but I have vague recollections of it. But one of Israel Regardie's students in hypnosis and psychology, she, an older lady, like in her 70s, like him, um, worked with me when I was a young man. And yeah, they cut the foreskin off. So I asked him at one point, I said, Rabbi, what do you guys do with all the foreskins you collect? And he said, "Hey kid, that's a good fucking question, right?" He said, we gather up all the foreskins and then we sew them into a wallet, like a wallet that you would keep in your back pocket, right? Like a cash wallet. And I said, "Wow, that's fucking amazing. That's unbelievable." And he said, "Yeah, well, the really great thing about them, the magical thing about them, is when you take the wallet and when you rub it, boom, it turns into a suitcase." And I thought, "Holy fuck, that's fantastic." I'd like to get one of those foreskin wallets. Yeah, so those were the type of Frankist Jews that I grew up around. Good magic, though, right? I mean, come on. You can't beat it with a stick. You could try. Okay, I'm gonna jump in the chat here and see what you guys are doing out there. Um, Vanta and Moonrocks are talking to each other. Moonrock says that he only gets high and never gets pissed. Yeah, that's good magic, man. I can appreciate that. If you can get some decent Mary Jane, right? Then yeah, you're always better off for it. Wow, DMT, I've never done that. I don't know anything about that. I know that the brain naturally releases it in your mind when you go to sleep at night, right? So it's a natural production of the pineal gland. And you can actually, right, like the real DMT, the good stuff, is to pull it up from your lower sexual centers and then meditate it up the body and into the brain and learn to squeeze all of those psychic centers. Like we talk about relaxing a lot in hypnotism and meditation, but the idea, how do you know if you're relaxing unless you tense first, right? So Squeeze your rectum. Squeeze it again and relax. Inhale. When you get to the top of your inhale, squeeze your fucking sphincter, right? Down at the buttocks. Squeeze the center dantian, right? The lower dantian, the middle dantian. Roll the shoulders back, relax. Press the tongue to the roof of the mouth, and then relax. So you don't truly know when you're relaxed unless you give it the opposite, right? You got to do the squeezing. So there are many aspects um, in internal meditation that will release all of the alchemical secrets. DMT could be the philosopher's stone. Exactly. Yeah, I've never done any synthetic. I know you can get it from certain plants, right? Like ayahuasca and other brews. But I've always thought that the best way is the natural way, and to achieve and release those psychedelic mind change agents within the body from internal alchemy. Um, but shamanistic herbs and stuff and various plants are definitely worthwhile. Yeah, no, I've done peyote, datura, magic mushrooms or psilocybin, um, MJ, of course, and probably a number of other things in very, very rare and isolated amount. A little bit of what was that guy called? The guy that did the movie, Robert De Niro, Scarface. Yeah, I've done a little Scarface, pure Colombian. What other? Caffeine, of course, nicotine, alcohol in limited amounts. It's never a great one. You know, the interesting thing about the Chinese culture is they make a lot of medicinal tonic brews where they'll put those things in and steep them in alcohol and then make a tincture, right? And you just take a few drops. I met a wizard when I was extremely young who made a very powerful tincture from an ergot mold. And so he would take rye grain and inoculate an ergot fungus on it and then cultivate it over a number of days and then distill it out with high grain alcohol, like what's that stuff called? Everclear, and then get the crystallized formation and put it into small tincture jars. And then you could just take a single drop of that, and you would immediately have a breakthrough, right, of the veil of the profane for 8 to 10 or 12 hours. Very, very, very powerful stuff. I remember this one time this young 16-year-old gal was over at my place in San Diego, and the wizard was there. And she's like, I want to taste that for the first time. I want to try that. And I'm like, you better not fuck around with that. I'm like, that's powerful magic. And he typically, like I said, like one drop or two drops would be enough to send you into happy land for could be days, depending on how sensitive you were. And I remember he's like, "Oh, give her a drop. You watch, make sure I give her the proper amount." And he pulled out the tincture vial, and it has, the dropper, the teardropper in it. And he sucked some up, and he was given a drop, and I looked, and the drop hit her mouth, and he ended up giving her like 15 or 20 drops. And I'm like, bro, wow, you gave her too many drops. And she had like a whole mouthful of it. And I said, you should probably spit that out. And she didn't. She swallowed it. And yeah, like 20 drops first time at 16 years old. I don't know. I was probably 17 at the time. And I wouldn't fuck around with it more than one or two drops of that shit. But yeah, what ended up happening that day? She was all right. We talked her through it, talked her down. Her eyeballs turned into saucers for a while, and she was all right. We didn't abandon her. But what a thing, man. I told her, I'm like, spit that out. I was like, fuck, he just overdosed you like so much. Such an unbelievable amount. Because that shit was powerful. And that was a formula that came from the Rainbow Brotherhood. It's funny, these days, you guys out there, you cats, young cats, you hear about like the rainbow and you think of the LGBTQ plus society, right? But that's not where it started. And if you look it up on the internet too, like I checked on Wikipedia, they have something called the Rainbow Family, but they don't know about the Rainbow Brotherhood. This was a group of Hell's Angels that came out of the San Francisco area in the 1960s. And they had the original formula for Timothy Leary's L25. And they were the only ones that throughout California were like empowered to distribute it. They would literally, if you ended up with the right formula, they would come and kill you and take it away from you. These guys dominated the lysergic acid scene for into the at least into the 2000s. So for over 40 years, probably close to 50 years. And yeah, they were the Rainbow Brotherhood. They were a certain sect of the Hells Angels that distributed L25 in crystal form. It was actually a powdered crystal form, and the distribution amount came in like a small paper fold up, and it was rainbow colored. And the reason it was called the Rainbow Brotherhood is you would take a bottle of Everclear and take that crystallized LSD and dump it in the Everclear, and the whole fucking bottle would just like myriad all of the polychromatic colors of the rainbow inside the liquid. And it was super fucking high potent shit, man. Like I said, one drop would be enough to send you on the hardest LSD trip you've ever taken, and really, really good though. Like I couldn't compare it with DMT, right? But 20 minutes, approximately 15 to 20 minutes, it would immediately hit you. That's how powerful it was. Like this shit was so powerful, they used it for assassinations. They would take like a rubber glove and put a little in the palm of the glove, and then like some Vaseline on the glove, and then throw some of that crystal on there and smack someone in the face, and it would kill them. That's how powerful it was. It sent them on a trip so hardcore. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the UK, you guys seem extremely anal retentive. Yeah, it's good magic. I can appreciate that. That's a rare story that I just told you guys right there. Definitive proof that I experienced and was affiliated with these fellas to some extent in my youth, and that's something that you'll yeah, that's more powerful than anything you're gonna fucking hear on Joe Rogan. Now they'll probably plagiarize it though, and some guy will come up saying that. I don't know though. It's not rare enough that other folks wouldn't know about it, but not very many. Not very many. That's skull and bones information right there. 13, right? 322. That's good magic. I appreciate y'all stopping by, coming by to say hello. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, you gotta have some free time. You gotta have a couple of days free, a day and a half to do it, and then a couple of days to recover before you have any prime material plane obligations. And it's only for the shaman. The weak of heart need not apply, right? Any pussies need to stay away from it. Um, it's a agent of change, to be sure. They used it for a lot of bad purposes in the past, though, too, as well. Let's get a little more dose, one more dose of this machine lines. It's good magic right here. I like it.
So we talk about the lies of the machine on the machine that lies.
Ooh, all right, entertainment.
Basically, on the stream, the machine lies. We're taking a very critical look at technology. So the reason we're doing that is because we're looking at the medium that is used to communicate, right, and transmit information, right? We don't think that any form of mediation is neutral, right? But it's laden with values. And so I think that the well has been polluted by technology. So obviously we take a critical look at technology, right? Okay, we're looking at different concepts in relation to technology, right? In terms of philosophy, right? And in terms of religion. Now, that is one of the main purposes of the show, is that we really look at where technology and religion, science, and spirituality, where those things intersect, right? Because there's a crisis of the modern world in which there's a majority of the modern world is religious people. Their mindset is secular, and the means they employ are secular. We're living in a post-liberal, post-human, post-geological age, right? So we're talking about the death of liberalism, the rise of the world technological system. Now, we do think that, okay, there's a considerable level of externalization of the ego, okay, and mediation of ourselves through the means we employ. So obviously, we shape tools, but the tools we use shape us, right? So that's one of the main things we're trying to get across on the show, is how technology changes human psychology. If you question the means you employ and what the objective factors of power are in our age, right, then that's the most important question you can ask, right? That's the most critical stance you could actually take, right? Like, most people don't question, how or what means they use to question, to ask the question itself, right? So we're actually taking a critical look at technology, right, as a primary form of communication, as an objective factor of power in our age, right? And we think that basically we're assuming that a lot of the stuff that we see through this medium is totally made up, right? Fabricated. And that is based on the fact that it is artifice. It's produced by a machine, right? So we talk about the lies of the machine on the machine.
Yeah, it's kind of a real thing nowadays, right? With the AI taking over the dead internet. It's interesting too, because like, notice how the internet kind of died out and was bombed out of existence and became basically like a ghetto that we're experiencing now. And it was only the AI only started to take over the ghetto. It's like the human creative endeavor was somehow depleted from it, and everyone got kind of burned out, right? And now the AI has just taken over the ashes of what we created. So it's not like it's really a big deal. Like, people, they present it, all of these technocrats present it as like such a like a cutting edge thing. Oh God, the AI, the bots, they're taking over. Everyone's gonna lose their jobs. It's like, fuck, it's because we're not interested in any of that anymore. Take those jobs. We're doing other things. We're living life. We're engaging in the productive capacity of the cosmos. And so the human expression will become more rarefied, in fact. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? Wow, that's amazing, Vanta. I don't know anything about that. You kids these days with your vaporizers, right? What a good thing. There were vaporizers back when I was a kid as well. Like, let's see. The first vaporizing I saw was only of like cannabis, and like then I heard about I was out of touch with it for a while with dubbing or something. It's like you take a really refined form of liquid hash and then vape it. What was that being called for a while? Don't remember. I wasn't even in the US when people were doing that, so I don't know. That's the way to do it though, yeah. Vape juice. What a way to go. Yeah, that's like the perfect steampunk equation for alchemy, internal human alchemy, right? Microdosing. You could get your psilocybin, your cannabis, your, well, I guess DMT. I don't know if that's a synthetic composite or not, but definitely like you could do a mix of cocaine, cannabis, and psilocybin in microdose in a vape. That would be the ultimate blast, I think. That would be the best long term. like that sustainable type of mixture. And that's probably what it is. I mean, that's the word you're using, this DMT. It's just a placeholder. You really, in all honesty, you don't have, unless you're a chemist and you've examined whatever it is that you are getting, or you grow it yourself and distill it yourself. If you're an alchemist or a chemist, then you would know whether or not it's legit. But if not, then you're just basing that on hearsay from what's available as a product, right? That's why I've always felt that when you can grow your own and go from the ground up and learn the basic processes of distillation, you're doing much better, which I've been engaged in, or was, not now, obviously, here behind the bamboo firewall. We don't do any of that, right? But you go out there, you plant a few seeds. Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. Yeah, good magic. I would appreciate if you two can get some good magic going between you and figure out what's going on there. Because you never know. That's a wonderful thing. What a treat. What an experience. It's like having a nice egg McMuffin in the morning. Uh, I might do that tomorrow. I don't know. Yeah, typically I just eat grains and veggies with some lean meats. But once a week, maybe twice a month, I like to go to McDonald's and grab myself a greasy, salty egg McMuffin or a Big Mac. I mean, what a fucking treat. That's quite a thing. Like if you're a routine consumer of fast food, you're gonna end up dead. But like occasionally, a couple times a month, it's something. It is. It's something. All right. Yeah, I can appreciate you too as well. Thank you for that. That's good magic. I wish some of y'all good looking, sexy people were willing to come on here and chat with me as we pass into the abodes of the night. But it is what it is. We've done a solid hour here with good magic, and we've covered some invocations and songs and the machine lies. In fact, I think I'm gonna take a song break. Get a little. Let me see if I can upload something else here on the old internet. Yeah, this is funny. I don't know if it'll go straight in there. Let me see. I gotta do something with that. This one's fun. You guys are gonna enjoy this. This is from my hood. I met this guy when I was a kid, man. Um, I was like 11 or 12 years old, and I went to the Compton swap meet, and NWA was performing. She took me there. She was a Indian, half Indian, Native American Indian, and she took me to the Compton swap meet. And I met Eazy-E. He even called me up on stage. I was the only white kid there, and I had blonde curly hair, and I was just like a little kid. And he's like, "What's that little white kid doing here? Get him up on stage." And he shook my hand. He's like, "White kid, you crazy." And I was like, "What the fuck? I'm white? That's weird. What does that mean?" I didn't even know what these niggers were talking about. Nigger
Person
this,
walks
nigger
up to
that.
Eazy-E and says, "Hey, nigger."
Depends on how you said it. Like if you say, "What's up, nigga?" then that's cool. But if you just say, "Nigger," then I'm gonna take it different. I might be over there, you be pulling me off of it, you know?
Now, if a white person walks up to Eazy-E and says, "Hey, nigger."
Depends on how you said it. Like if you say, "What's up, nigga?" then that's cool. But if you just say, "Nigger," then I'm gonna take it different. I might be over there, you be.
Yeah, that's hardcore legit shit right there. Too legit to quit. Niggas ain't gonna take none of that shit. What's up, nigga? You my nigga, Easy? Yeah, Easy is my nigga. Yeah, I don't give a fuck what y'all think about all of that. See what else we got here. Let's do a little. I like this video. This guy's a wigger, right? He's a white nigga, and I don't know. I think we might. I don't know if we can play the video or not. Maybe we can. Seems like he started his entire musical career based on YouTube. Think that it could play out without any trouble. This is a little bit tough for me to understand to some extent because it's a UK vibe. It's funny though, like I think everyone, the two white guys, the white guy and the white gal, are Americans actually, and then the Indian dude, I think he's a British. So this is Selectra. Matt's taking some time to process though. Okay, maybe it's good to go now. Let's check it out.
I'll be Wobble, representing Wellington upon Trent, we in here. Big up my man Nathan coming through with the ganja rude boy, me want to chat to me guan. Selector,
are you mental?
coming through, oh what I do, I never knew you could be doo-doo. With the bum to the boom boom, bum the bum boom with the boom boom. Oh what you do, put your crew in a new blue doo-doo. Who man them, over by the chip shop, yo can't stand them. Then stab them and go bonkers, with the Glasgow smile for the blonkers. Did I stab him in a biscuit, blood on me trainers, nah can't risk it. Pick up the skang and your man them ran, couldn't nick a hot pot pie off me nan. And if you want a boogie, yo let's tango, hit him with the Rambo, right up in the mango.
Take me to the yard if you can handle it. Let's pop a Mandy or I'll cancel it. Then walk and let me back, so through me Burberry. I know you heard me.
If you pop round in Bradford to Beth, you'll rain down the bomb. I'll turn your ugly mug into porridge, or more to rough and tumble. £1,000,000 to get you Barney Gumble. Looking for a tassel, head to the pub. Shots free ad for the Robin Tub. Come on me P's and Q's and me A to Z. You want a toasty? Come on me way to Greg's. I got a bump for a £5, that's a bargain. Knees up, not a fucking stroll in the garden. Pardon? Yeah, you lot are punces. Piss off your puffs and your fairy nonsense. You want this? So I got your mum up on the pickle. Bonk the old bird till it tickle on the fizzle. And I got your friend up in the middle. Pipe the old bag right down and get a diddle.
Yeah, that gal's so hot. Yeah, I love hot women. Thank you for that, Fanta. I appreciate that. Let's see. Good magic to you, my dear. Thank you for stopping by. Ad Astra, Prosperum, Carpe Diem, and I think I misspelled that. That's all right. And no se te ipsum tu es Dios. Yeah, thank you, love. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate you being here. Everyone that joined in and enjoyed the transmission this evening. Hopefully, I don't get struck for playing this video. But God, I think she's so fucking delicious, man. I'd like to eat her like a biscuit. Yeah, it's beautiful. Really a lovely thing. Good to see you, Vanta Black. I've enjoyed your content. Yeah, good stuff. Good magic. I can appreciate you guys. Let's play it.
Take me to the yard if you can handle it. Let's pop a Mandy or I'll cancel it. Then walk and let me back, so through me Burberry. I know you heard me, boy.
Man's like, hold on. When they see the Benz that I roll on, y'all want to sip on a potion. Trust me, no polyjuice in my cauldron. Man's like, hang on, big man ting, that's bang on. If a girl want hang round with a man, them I'll give her something to hang on. Walk one for the bad man, them bang biddy bang bang. Send man down to the dungeon, bad man have man in Azkaban, man. Half a kilo in the parcel, singing 1-0 to the Arsenal. Catch me in the back of a Bentley with a couple Kate Middletons and a few Meghan Markles.
Yeah, just interrupting the video so that maybe, you never know, might help. Yeah. I'd like to play some Snoop Dogg and Dre, but those guys are so big now, man. Imagine that too. Those motherfucking Negroes from the hood, from Compton swap meet, going from like stages in LA to the entire world platform, all CIA funded. So nice, must be nice, huh? But yeah, they wrote some rhymes, you know. Dr. Dre was the heart of it though, like coming up with the beats on the synthesizers. Good stuff. It's when we went digital, right? The OG digitals.
Yeah, what for Sunday roasted Toby Carvery? Do start with me and don't get smart with me. You get no part of me, boy.
Yeah, there it is there. That's going to be it, man. That's good magic, guys. I appreciate you coming by. I appreciate you checking out the channel. I hope you fucking hit the like buttons and subscribe. Put a little something, something in the commentary box. Check me out on buymeacoffee.com/Frank Monday. And as we wander into the abodes of the future, I'll finish with the invocation of total integration. Heaven and earth are the spontaneous manifestations of the subtle, wondrous universal law. As the original oneness expresses itself, gross and subtle energies become distinctly divided. Our bodily caves are brightly illuminated by the mysterious light from the three Dantian, bridge points leading to immortality. The powerful spirits of the eight directions conjoin my being with the true origin of life by the absolute order of the divine Lingbao in the highest ninth heaven. Send the powerful energies of Qianluo, Dana, Dunkan, and Taixuan to destroy my spiritual obstacles and debilitate any evil influence. This order is given by the highest sovereignty. It is a jade oracle from the subtle origin. I invoke with strong sincerity to drive away the demons and evils and lengthen my healthy years. The attained spirits respond. The evil demon king, Mo Wong, is chained to stand as our guard and servant. The powerful atmosphere has been generated, dispersing all negativity. The chi of Tao is everlasting. So it is commanded and confirmed. So mote it be. Amen. Remember, O neophyte, goodness alone is power, silence is strength, will regaineth omnipotence, and love lieth at the foundation. Until next time, keep doing good magic, and I will see you in the abodes of the future. Ad astra prosperum, carpe diem.